I hear that so many people are on lockdown, and it's really the first time in their lives that they're going to be by themselves on Pesach. So some people, they used to do it for other people, have hosts, and now they're going to be by themselves. No, my mother is in that case. She used to host, now she's by herself. Some people used to be invited, and now they're by themselves. Some people used to be, whatever, now they cannot travel. Family members all over the world cannot travel and they're going to be alone. So for the majority of you, spending Pesach by yourself is not a choice. It's something that is happening. And I want to share my experience because I've done it quite a few times, and how to prepare the holiday alone, how to get ready for it, how to spend it alone. This year we're going to have 3 days, no phone, no nothing, no social media, no nothing for 3 days. It's going to be quite a feat. I used to say I love these 3 days when nobody calls, no email, no nothing, but this is going to be really something with nobody to talk to. Unless you go outside in the street. But there is a saying, we're going to make the most of it. There's a saying that says, adapt and overcome. So stagnation, when you just stay put the same way you are now and deal with things the same way you are now, is stagnation. That's really bad. That's really deadly. But I want to help you go through it in the best possible way. But first, let me tell you a few things about myself. Some people know me, some people don't. So I'm going to have a little bit of an introduction here. I do a variety of things to keep me very active. I am a real estate broker. Another thing that I do is that I'm a life coach, which I love with passion. I am an artist. I raised a large family, and of course I come from France. You can tell from my accent. But I've been here for quite a long time. I raised a large family, and some years ago I was going through a divorce, and at the time Pesach was approaching, we were all living under the same roof, and everybody was there together. I continued doing whatever I was doing at home as usual. And so when Pesach came, I spent months cleaning, organizing, preparing the kitchen, ordering, shopping, cooking, doing all kinds of things, my regular schedule for Pesach, which is quite arduous. And I prepared a lot of the food for the kids in town and the soon-to-be ex-husband. Was a lot of work and high expenses. Everybody knows just the matzah alone was quite a bill. But I did everything hoping that if the labor was not there, at least the expense would be. And I went along and I cooked and I got everything ready. The fridge and the freezer were full of trays ready to be warmed up. The lettuce was checked. The charosette was made, everything homemade. All the juices, everything was fresh squeezed. The living room was ready for the holidays. And less than 24 hours before the Seder, I was told that he would not be there for the meals. He would just sleep and not be there. So unbeknownst to me, he had arranged everything, his own matzah order a long time ago. He had arranged everything to go to one of my sons who married living in town. And nobody told me anything about it. And not only that, but the other boys were also going to be living and not spending any meals with me for the whole Yom Tov. So I learned that, as I said, less than 24 hours before. And so Erev Pesach, I got up, I burned the chametz outside, and I finished my kitchen. I had a lot of food in the fridge, but I felt abandoned. I felt betrayed. I was upset. I was plain disgusted, and my mind started to reposition because you see, in any situation, it's not important what you tell yourself. What's important are the questions you ask yourself, because good questions will give you good answers. And so what I did was asking myself some questions. So one very bad question you should not ask why. This why question is actually not a good idea. It just doesn't lead you anywhere except misery. And it's the reason behind things is not our business. It's God's business. He is the manager. He has a view that we don't have. Like, why is this happening today? We don't know, but obviously there is a reason for it. So it's the same thing in the army. If every soldier is going to ask the general why questions, we're going to be in a major general mess. So what we want to do here is not ask why, but a good question to ask the general, for example, is what's your intent? What is it you're trying to achieve here? So you see, there's a General Jim Mattis, he said in his book that if you tell your troops to take over a bridge, it's not enough because it's an action without an intent and without an end result. If you say take the bridge so that you cut off the enemy so the enemy cannot escape, then the people that are taking the bridge know they not only have to take the bridge, but in case the enemy goes around or escape, they also have to make sure that they don't. So taking the bridge and letting the enemy go around is not acceptable. It's not just taking the bridge. You have to give an end purpose to these things. And why am I telling you this? Because I ask myself, the end question is, all this preparation, what is it for? What is the end purpose? It's true that I spend a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of really, putting all my heart into doing these things. But what is it for? What is the end result? What is it supposed to achieve? It's very simple. The name of anything reflects the essence of it, whether it's an animal, a person, an object, or an event like a holiday. The name of anything reflects the essence of it. So what do we have here with Pesach? Pesach, first of all, Pesach, a lot of talking. And if you're not going to talk to anyone for 3 days this Pesach, you're going to be talking to yourself a lot because you have nothing else to do. So talking to yourself, talking to Hashem and your higher source of energy. Pesach is the time where we talk. We talk. It's a great time for chatterbox. They say Lag BaOmer is great for people who love fire, and Purim is great for people who like to get drunk, but Pesach is great for people who love to talk or clean. Anyway, so Pesach is also called the Chag HaAviv. Chag HaAviv is the spring. The spring is a time where you see buds, you see flowers, you see the fruits growing. It's a time of renewal. And it's a happy time. It makes you happy when you walk in the street and everything is blossoming. And there is a reason for it. So Chag HaAviv, that's the springtime, a renewal. What else is Pesach called? It's called Zman Cherutenu. Zman is a time of our freedom. So freedom is the stamp. It's like the brand name of Pesach is freedom. And it's also called, so it's very, very important concept, the freedom. Freedom from what? But to be free and to know what it means to be free and to know that freedom has a price. So this is what we're going to look into a little bit. And another name for Pesach is Chag HaMatzot. So Chag HaMatzot is the matzah is two things. And it's a very interesting concept that one item can signify and remind you of two completely opposite things. It's the Chag HaMatzot is the matzah, the bread of affliction that people ate when they were slaves in Egypt and they had really terrible food, I guess, because, this is it. This is what people ate. Just, not spice, no nothing, just plain water and flour. But it's also reflecting, the matzah is reflecting the bread of our salvation. So it's an interesting concept that the same exact item, you see it from two different sides and it's all encapsulated into one thing. So two different perspectives on the same item. So this is the thing that Pesach represents. This is the thing that Pesach is supposed to teach us. And this is why we're making Pesach. So you see, all you have to do is ask the right question. So taking the bridge is not an end result. The cooking, the cleaning, the hosting, the shopping, the getting together, that is not the end result of Pesach. In other words, this is what's happening, but this is not what we want to achieve. And so the intention, what is the intention? If you get caught into the action, and so many times this is what happens, that we get caught into the actions of doing something without the intention behind. And I call this the Tower of Babel syndrome, where people started to build a tower to protect humanity, and then at the end, what took over is the action of building instead of the protection of humanity. And this is, you see it so many times. People start doing something with good intention, the intention gets forgotten, and then you have actions that don't have a meaning anymore. So anyway, so the end result here for Pesach is to get a renewal, springtime, to be free, freedom, yes, freedom from so many things, and also to see that the same matzah of affliction is really the bread that showed us how fast we got out of our narrow strait meaning Mitzrayim, which is the literal translation of Mitzarim, which is the word Mitzrayim. So my dear friend, we've been in our generation very pampered. We've had a lot of good things. The situation today is calling for a reset. Reset of all the clocks and reset of all our habits of doing things without really focusing on the end results and the intention and the purpose of it. So what's happening today calls for family members to be there for each other, to be there with each other when no school is open, to calls for letting go of the futile pastime of consuming and buying stuff. And now, instead of, we're going out of our way to help people that are in trouble and praying for people that are, sick, it calls for thinkings of others. As we are by ourselves, we are feeling more connected with everybody else than if we'd be surrounded with a whole big crowd. So the action in the past might have reflected the taking of the bridge, but now we reset our mind and we ask, what is Pesach about? It's not about super fancy dessert. It's not about staying up the longest. It's not about enjoying walking to shul surrounded by your boys. Pesach is about renewal and transformation, about true freedom, about talking and understanding yourself. And it's about seeing things from different perspectives, where you see that the poor bread is becoming a sign of a speedy salvation. So this Pesach that I spent by myself that year, actually, after asking myself this question, what am I doing? Who am I doing this for? Am I doing it for other people? Am I doing it for Hashem? Why am I celebrating Pesach in the first place? And if I'm living by myself, it's the same Pesach, it's the same customs, it's the same halacha, it's the same as every year, except there's not going to be people around. I found that Pesach, at first I felt very abandoned and betrayed by my family members, but it really brought me very close to Hashem, and brought me very close to God, and it ended up being really nice for different reasons, and it ended up being very good for me on the spiritual level, and being freed of dealing with everything else, just focusing on the meaning of what I was doing. And it was so good for my spiritual being and for my body, even for everything, for my emotional makeup, that I've made sure in the years after that, every year, to have at least one seder that I spend by myself, because I saw that it was so beneficial. So look, things happen. We don't know why they happen, but everything happened for a reason. I never knew at this time that, oh, you're spending Pesach by yourself. You've got experience now. You're going to teach us how to do it. Yes. Well, I never heard of this until this year. But yeah, today we're facing an unusual circumstance. And if you're not used to it, it might make you feel a little bit anxious. But what we're going to be trying to do this week is, from my experience and where I come from, that it is really a good thing, and we're going to be in the right mindset to make the most out of this Pesach. And I'm very happy that I'm able to share all of this with you. So now is the time to skill up, to commit yourself, to have a good experience, to make the most of the special time that Hashem has given us, no matter where you are. If you'd be in a different country, I mean, the people are in hospitals. I mean, if you feel like you're being locked down right now, we have to know we're so grateful. We're being safe. We're being in a safe place. Some people are in the hospital. Some people are in danger. And we pray for them, and we hope them that they get over it and get immunized, and they're going to be even in a better place. But in the meantime, Hashem designed this for us for a purpose. And it's interesting that as we celebrate the Zman Chirutenu, the time of freedom, the media tell us locked down, but I say we are opening up. And this is what I want to share with you. And there's so many things that I want to help you. There's so many different levels of helping each other here. I want people to post, and I'm going to make it, a YouTube video later on. So I want people to post on the video their tips, what they find works for them, if they have good ideas, they have any people that do delivery or how to fix things. We're going to talk about all different kinds of things. There's there's logistics to figure out. There is spiritual matters to figure out. There's halachic questions to figure out. And there is emotional well-being. So all of this, I want to address as many as we can. That's why we're going to make this an hour every day at 5 o'clock. Every day. Friday will be probably at 10 o'clock Los Angeles time. Saturday, of course, not. And then we'll start again next week until it's time for Pesach. So, with a lot to cover. How do we get to freedom? Okay, so I think the scouts have a very good thing. Be prepared. And I think it's very, very important to have all kinds of situations. I mean, you don't know what's going to be. Nobody knows what's going to be. But at least if you prepare for different scenario, you'll feel more comfortable. So how do you prepare? How do you do it by yourself? Some people here have no experience, and I want you to write in the chat box if you are your age range. You can do like between 0 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to over, to 120. And I'd like you to tell me also, what is your most important concern regarding spending Pesach by yourself? Is it not knowing how to cook for Pesach, knowing how to deal with your kitchen, not knowing what to do with yourself for 3 days with nothing around? What is your most important concept? Please type in the message what it is. And if you want, you can type privately. You don't have to type for everybody else to see it, but please type it into the chat box. So I want to see what you're typing here. It's very important for me to know as I'm listening, and you listening to me. I want to give you something that you need. So please type. Okay, how to prepare for the Seder. Okay, all right. Definitely the cooking. Okay, all right. So I just want to tell you that I've done it a few times and give cooking demonstrations. So recipes, my cup of tea, not a problem. We're going to do that. Yeah, kashering I've been thinking about this. Cooking. Okay, kashering is an issue right now. And fortunately, we can still go out and buy stuff. I've been thinking, like, even if somebody gets you a pot, there's some routes that sell pots and pans. I believe the one on Sunset has the whole things for kitchen. But then I heard the mikvahs are closed. So how do you toggle this? Yeah. Yeah, they say that, okay, good shopping is a challenge um, because yes, so I just saw advertised that there's some shopping helpers so that we can share the information about that. A lot of it is being posted on Hiligram, fortunately, doing a great job. The person doing the Hiligram is so busy now. I mean, it's worse than a CPA at this point. I know that, yeah, so I want to tell you something. If you want to open up and if you want to be happy, which we all want to be happy, it's not enough to take care of ourselves. If you can do anything for someone else, and I mean, there's so many things you can do for someone else. You can call someone, you can offer help. Like I would go out, for example, and I brought people shopping because they cannot go, or I bought things for people and drop it at their house. There's some people now, there's a group of people that are specializing into that. Um, if you have anything at home, a piece of paper and a stamp, the mail is still working. Fortunately, the mail is still working. Send a card, send a note to someone who is at home by themselves, having been out for 3 weeks or whatever, however long they've been in, and just to get something in the mail that they can read and reread. It's not going to be something on the phone. It's not going to be something that they cannot see on Yom Tov, but a little card, something sweet that they can put on their thing. Maybe you have a card that is roaming around somewhere on your desk. Take it, write few words to someone and send it. Be patient with me for just a second. All right. So if anybody is having trouble seeing me now, let me know. Rivka, however you put that picture in the middle, maybe you want to take it off. Rivka, could you please, whatever you
There's no
did.
picture on the screen.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I see Rivka. Okay, there's no picture on the screen. Okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I have to practice a few more times over here. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's fine. No,
okay.
nothing.
Okay, so let's keep on going here. All right, so let me see here what we want to do. Okay. Okay, so now a lot of people now, they are not understanding. They're not understanding. Rivka, if you want to write down the information and I will share it, okay? All right. You can write it down in the chat and then I will share this information about the shopping. Okay, so what is it that we want to do now? Okay, so how do we get there? So a lot of people are going to tell you that, you have positive thoughts and, how do you get into a good frame of mind? Because the most essential thing, as I said, is ask questions. Am I being in danger? Primary fear, being of danger. And I know that most people right now, if they're not going out and if they're not being with other people, is either because they want to protect other people or they want to protect themselves, which both are a mitzvah. So we're all obligated to do that. But you have to feel that you're doing this to feel safe. You can't feel I'm doing this to feel bad, because if what you're doing makes you feel bad, then you're defeating the purpose. There's no point feeling healthy without a virus and feeling depressed with depression. And so that's not the purpose here. What we want to do is feel good about what we're doing, knowing that the intention is good, that the goal is good, and we're going to get to where we need to be. Okay, so my purpose is to help you. So you see, some people know that I'm a life coach, but what I always tell people is that people tell you what to do. but they don't tell you how to do it. And so people tell you to feel good, but they don't tell you how to get there. So my purpose here is to help you, whether it's practical advice or anything else. So today I want to do something. I want people to write down. That could be order online, a special robe for Yom Tov. But you gotta make it one thing. Okay, you gotta make it so that even though there's not people around, and you don't have to put up a show. But we have minhagim to set the table for Pesach in the most beautiful way. So it doesn't mean you put a lot of things, but make it nice. Make it nice for yourself. It doesn't have to be fancy, it can be paper goods, but make it nice for yourself. Could be a sweet candle, something with a scent. It could be a very beautiful challah cover or a special tablecloth, or just a vase on the table with flowers that you're going to get yourself. Do something that is going to make you feel like this is beautiful, this is nice. And that's why I say no pajamas, because you want to feel like it's a special time. And the reason why we do these special things is not just because we're showing off. We do them even if we're by ourselves, because this is a special time for us. Let's say whenever we do something on the outside, it influences how we feel inside. And so that's why I'm saying you can take it easy and go on your own pace, but make it nice, make it chashuv, make it that it's not just for other people, all this. It's for you, because it's about you. I'm not saying it's about you because you're being egoistic. It's about you because the internal and end result has to be a state of freedom for yourself. It has to be a state where you feel better about yourself. It has to be a state where you are looking at yourself and feeling better about yourself. So whatever it is, getting your hair cut, whatever it is, that there's plenty of time. If you want to do your own sheitel, if you want to buy yourself a new tie, whatever it is. So that was okay. But I was pretty rested. Some other years I was pretty exhausted. So when you arrive, exhausting, and now this year we changed the clock, so you arrive in Pesach, and however fast you're going to go is still going to be a little bit late. But what adds to it is either the wine or the grape juice that you're going to have, and sugar, and wine is also intoxicating. So I tell you what, the difficult thing is going to be if you're by yourself is that nobody is going to wake you up if you fall asleep. So make sure you're well rested. Make sure you have some kind of protein to cut down on the sugar level. Make sure you have a little bit of olive oil before the seder, before you go before mincha, I guess. A little bit of olive oil to coat your stomach so that you don't get drunk, because if you fall asleep, nobody's going to wake you up. And you might pass the time for Afikomen. But in any case, so that's one thing that I want to warn people about from my own experience here. So a few things. We're now about 10 days before Pesach. I want to say to everybody, get ready, prepare. The one thing that I want you to prepare now is a list of things that you have to do in advance, because some of the things you can wait for the last minute. You can cook at the last minute. But if you need to order something online, you need to order it now. Who knows what the mail is going to be. Maybe you want to, and I want to tell you this. I want you to order something or buy something or get something for yourself or prepare something for yourself that is going to be something that makes you happy. So I don't know what makes you happy. Maybe it's a photo album. You're going to spend, Yom Tov putting photos in albums. Maybe it's a matzah cover. I painted myself a matzah cover, and I'm really happy to have this new thing for Pesach. It could be that you're going to order a special wine, or could be you're going to get yourself a watch because there's no phones for 3 days. and you still want to go around outside a little bit for fresh air, it could be a meaningful Haggadah that you want to try this year. The stores are having sales, they're having a lot of things happening. What we're going to do now is this thing that I really, really want to share with you. I want you to choose feelings that you are now associating with this holiday that is unpleasant. I don't know what it is. It could be anger, could be frustration, could be boredom, it could be loneliness, it could be panic, it could be anxiety, could be anything. Think about one feeling that you have, and keep it in mind. And as you feel that feelings that you have, I would like to put your hand on your heart and see how strong is that feeling from 0 to 10. Okay. Now, we're going to imagine ourselves going through a tunnel. You know that the Jews, when they came out of Egypt, they went through tunnels, water tunnels. But we're going to imagine that we're going through a tunnel. And that tunnel is very dark. In order to get into that tunnel, you're going to open a door. The door is really made out of that bad feeling, that negative feeling that you're experiencing. The door is that bad feeling. And as you open the door to the tunnel, you opening the door to that feeling. That feeling is all over. That feeling is all over the tunnel. The tunnel is made out of that feeling. It could be fear, could be anger. It could be anything that is not making you feel good. So notice in your body where you feel the emotion as you're in the tunnel right now. Notice in your body, where do you feel that emotion? Remove that emotion, put it in front of you. This is the door. Expand the image of this emotion until it is the size and the shape of the doorway. On the other side of the doorway, as you know, is the tunnel made out of the emotion. And in a moment, you will enter the tunnel and walk through it to find out what's on the other side. But there is one rule that you have to keep. Once you get into the tunnel, you have to keep walking. You have to keep walking. So you are in that emotion, you are in that tunnel, and you've agreed to keep your feet moving. Step into the tunnel, close the door behind you. There's no going back. Just keep on walking in front of you. And feel the emotion surrounding you as you keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving, looking at around you. What is the tunnel made out of? What it feels like? What are the walls like? Is it round? Is it square? Is it damp? Is it dry? What is that tunnel like? That emotion that you have. And keep on walking until you discover the exit on the other side. And when you're there, Post it in the chat. Keep on going until you get to the end of the tunnel. Keep on going. Keep on going, feeling the emotion. The emotion is there, but you're walking and you keep on walking. You keep on walking until you come out of there. Nice, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Everybody's going to be in a different place. Everybody's going to feel differently once they come out. They know it's out there. Thank you for sharing. Whoever came out of the tunnel, please write down in the chat what it feels like now to be out of the tunnel. Leah, now that you're out of the tunnel, see if the emotion went down. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, anybody else wants to post? So the emotions that we have, good. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. The emotions that we have, the emotions we have now, they come from a place of fear, because this is how the mind works. You might think the mind likes things that are nice, but it's not so. Not so. The mind likes what it is used to. And so the mind functions this way. You do something the first time, fine. You do it again and again and again and again. It becomes to the mind such a pleasure, because the mind is conserving energy. And as it conserves energy, it is not wanting to spend energy on working hard. And when something is done many times over and over again, it becomes easy. And so the mind says, yeah, an easy job for me, I'll take it. And therefore, anything that you used to repeat again and again, keeping the energy level at the lowest possible, conservation of energy. So when we are used to do something, even sometimes if we don't like it, it's pleasant to us just because we're used to it, because our mind says that it's good, we're used to it. But the problem is that we get stuck in places that we didn't choose, we just got used to do it over and over again. Now this year is going to change, but my mind says it's something new, and it starts setting a panic. How are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? Okay, you don't get it right the first time, we try again and again and again and again until we get it right, right? But the mind is so upset. The same neurons in their brain light up as if they're actually moving their fingers on the piano. whenever we think of something and visualize something and get into it, not saying just saying, okay, this and that and we're done with it, but really get into it and visualize it and feel it, the mind doesn't know the difference, doesn't know we are not moving, doesn't know we're not doing it. So what we're going to do is practice with our mind what this Pesach is going to be like, in a good, positive way, of course, in a fun way, in a happy way, and get our mind get used to this idea. And as we get our mind used to the idea, it's going to transform the panic and the anxiety and the frustration into something that we're really looking forward to, because now something that our mind likes because it got used to it. So let's do this. Again, I'm going to not be talking too much, but this is going to be our last exercise for today, and we're going to do more tomorrow. It's going to be every day at 5 o'clock. The same meeting, the same link will access to the same to the same chat. And we're going to do more and more and more, and we're going to address more and more issues. But for right now, one more thing before we leave today. I want you to visualize yourself wherever you're going to be spending Pesach. If it's in your kitchen, if it's in your dining room, if it's anywhere it's going to be. I want you to visualize this Pesach, and I want you to see yourself coming into the room and doing whatever it is that you're going to be doing. Whether it's in your nice finery for Yom Tov, or your relaxed Yom Tov robe, whether you have all the makeup as you usually do, or do it without any makeup and feeling free from having to do the makeup, whether you've been davening by yourself, or reading something about Pesach, or doing anything that made you feel good, or maybe taking a little nap before the Seder, before you start. Imagine yourself doing that, and imagine yourself coming to your table. What does your table look like? What's on your table? You have candles. Where are your candles? What do they look like? Do you hear any noise? Is there any smell? Are you singing to yourself? Are you singing at the top of your lungs? Are you whispering your prayers? Are you coming into the room, looking at something you've prepared for yourself, and feel how chashuv you are, that all of this is just for you? And see that all these things that are surrounding you are safe, nice, comfortable, homey, cozy, quiet in a nice way. And all of this that is around you, Hashem gave you. You're coming into a time where you matter. No one else. And as you feel this beauty of you being so important and being so good and being so worthy, you're going to feel good about other people, sending them good wishes also, because even if you are in the house by yourself, you're not alone. There are so many people in the same situation, and you're going to send them good messages. You feel grateful you could do things for yourself. You feel grateful you're able to walk and talk and sing if you want to, and dance if you want to. And all of this is just for yourself. It's between you and Hashem. And all the longings that we always have of wanting more and more and more of everything we can think of has only one reason. It's because we want to unite with Hashem. And so this is your day, and this is going to be your night. You get two chances. This is going to be your night where you're going to feel united with Hashem, united with yourself, good to yourself, kind to yourself, loving to yourself. And anything you've prepared is just for you because you deserve it. And you've done a great job of it. And so now bathing that atmosphere and see how you're going to be ready to start a seder. Are you going to feel happy, liberated, out of the narrow strait, free, with this ability to look at things from different angles, to see always the good thing about it? This is your Pesach. Raise the cup. Proclaim your freedom. Acknowledge your goodness to be chosen, to be the one. Celebrate tonight. Breathe into it. Feel how good it feels to be there. Feel that this is a special time and you're looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Absolutely, absolutely. Mikamcha Israel. Thank you. There. I am now going to terminate the meeting. Before terminating the meeting, I'm going to ask you that if you know anybody that is also going through a challenge, we're going to be working together to be coming for Pesach with good feelings, good tips. We already shared today a few tips. Now I'm going to give you a recipe just so that you know that I'm really a good cook. Come back here, get ready for my recipe. It's a recipe for salt water. So you go like this, you take water in a cup, you put some salt, you shake it up, put it on the table. This is the most easy recipe you can imagine. Anyway, so anybody that you know, whether they're young single that are facing Pesach by themselves, most terrifying prospect for all the people that are not prepared and they start setting up their own catering self-sufficient business now, whether it's newlywed that were fighting about where they're going to be for Passover this year, and now they don't have to fight anymore. The solution is here, they're staying home. People who've been married 20 years, people who've been married 20 years and they never made Pesach. This is your chance that to prove that you were invited, that you being invited was just a favor to your host, but you can really do it. So anyway, so I want to tell you this funny thing about being in quarantine. 40 days, yeah. Quarantaine in French, because I speak French. Quarantaine means 40 days. That's how they used to keep the sheep that arrived on port. They used to keep them out for 40 days to make sure they were not contaminated. Well, we're lucky. It's 40 days in French. Right now, we don't know where we're going, but soon it'll be 49. We're going to count 49 days. No matter what's going to happen, we're going to do it. And we're going to have a good time doing it together, and we're going to give each other things. So next time, tomorrow, we're going to do more technique to feel good about this Pesach, and we're going to go more into practical questions, halachic question, how to prepare, how to set up your kitchen, what are the essentials that you need, cooking, what are really fast, easy recipes that you can do in a jiffy, and delicious food. All right, so everybody, thank you so much. I am not sure if I'm unmuted anybody, but let me see if I can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my pleasure, my pleasure. Please share with people, so a lot of people, whether it's in town or out of town, a lot of people are going to be and we're going to go more into practical questions, halachic question, how to prepare, how to set up your kitchen, what are the essentials that you need, cooking, what are really fast, easy recipes that you can do in a jiffy, and delicious food. All right, so everybody, thank you so much. I am not sure if I'm unmuted anybody, but let me see if I can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. Please share with people. So a lot of people, whether it's in town or out of town, a lot of people are going to be. Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. Please share with people. So a lot of people, whether it's in town or out of town, a lot of people are going to be delicious food. All right. So everybody, thank you so much. I am not sure if I'm unmuted anybody, but let me see if I can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. Please share with people. So a lot of people, whether it's in town or out of town, a lot of people are going to be